women, and that will help me out. I tried the first person, she snubbed me. I tried the second person, she snubbed me. But honestly, my heart, my being has a bias to women, not against women. I'm blessed to be married, and I have 3 children. The first is a girl. The second is a girl. When we had 2, I was happy to stop. Stop means stop having children, if you understand what I'm saying. I was happy to stop. I was very grateful to God. And I had 2 girls that looked, if you ask me, so much like me. I hope that's a plus. I had 2 girls that looked so much like me. And I was happy. I was happy to just raise them up, nurture them to be responsible women and professionals. And then I had a conversation with my wife, and she was like, you know, Olumide, this is recorded, eh? And then she was like, Olumide, you know, is this appropriate? You know, I said, I'm very happy. Look at these young ladies. They look so much like me. I'm happy. She says, no, just one more time, you know, just one more time. She's prayed to God for a boy. And so we can't finish just yet. So she managed to hold me and just, I don't know what happened. And then she started, told me that in a few months we will expect another baby. And it was a boy. So when we got the boy, sorry, this is not part of, they are fed up of me in my institution. Because anytime they prepare something for me, I find it difficult to follow it. So I would try and eventually go there, if time permits. And so we had the boy. And I was very happy, you know. And I tried to whisper to her, should we go for a second boy just to make things? And she said, I shouldn't even entertain the conversation. Anyway, today is about, so for now, we are still 3. We are 3 for now. Everywhere, we are 3. We are 3. Okay. When I realized that I wouldn't be successful in negotiating, please, you're welcome. Please, can you find a seat to quickly sit down? We have been waiting for you, and we are so happy that you found time from your busy schedule to join us. Thank you very much. We appreciate your coming. I know you had to leave a lot of things to be here, so we appreciate you. Thank you for coming. When it dawned on me, right, that I don't want to call their names. I tried 1 or 2 or 3 people, and they would not budge to speak on my behalf today. So I said I must be very intentional if I'm going to stand on this stage. Do you know the first thing I did? You know the first thing? I chose the color of my tie to be green. I was very deliberate too. It was not a mistake. And if the camera focuses on me very well, even the color of my socks, green. Because green represents renewal, newness, freshness. And I think that's what we're trying to celebrate today. The impact our women have made and continue to make in the bank and the women we support. So I was like, okay, I must represent that intention tonight. Have I done well so far representing that cause? I have. You are far too kind for clapping for me. You are far too kind. Even if I'm boring, just allow me another 10 minutes. I will leave this place for you. My English, you know, when the MC started speaking, I said, oh my gosh, look at the fluency of the language and the tone of voice. And how do I speak after such a person? But I'm going to try my best to not let my main folks down tonight and speak very good English. on behalf of everybody, let's go to the speech. They prepared something for me. Okay, our guest speaker, before I just... is it necessary? I think I've welcomed everybody already, this thing I've said. Must I read this thing? Our guest speaker, I don't know where the camera is. I'm told she's already connected, waiting for us. I don't know if she can see me. Because she has not seen me in a very long time. I'm telling you, she has not seen me in a very long time. And I hope she recognizes me. Because this version of me that she's seeing, I don't know, as she's looking, do I remember, can I remember him? Because I haven't spoken to her. Guess what? When I started my banking career, about, shall I tell you the number of years? This man, this boy, who is it? Many years ago, I started my career processing invoices in admin. She has been in business since that time. And I used to process her invoice for payments. When we give her the stage, I'm sure she will remember. Chair Center, I used to process payments for invoice for her 26, 27 years ago. 26, 27 years ago. And she has remained consistent, principled, focused. So when they told me they were bringing her today, I was like, wow, I haven't spoken to her in ages, Roots go back to when I started my banking career. Her sister was my senior colleague in an institution that we worked with together, Fumi Adeyemi. She had a very great impact in my life. So I'm so happy that we'll be hearing from her today. I'm sure we can learn one or two things. Let me leave this speech. Welcome. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Olumide. Olumide Olatunji is the MD of Access Bank Ghana. Yeah, yes. For those of you watching us and watching virtually, again, thank you for paying attention. Don't forget the hashtag is UnstoppableW. So please do tweet, share, put it on Facebook, let people know what's happening here. Now, how has the Access W journey been so far? Well, let's take a quick look at an excerpt from the Access W documentary. Okay.
I am a woman in business.
I am a young woman professional.
I'm a family woman.
7 years ago, Access Bank embarked on a journey to inspire, connect, and empower women through the W Initiative.
The W Initiative started in 2015 with over 20,000 customers. At the time, out of every 10 new customers we acquired, just about 2 of them were female. Currently, thanks to the initiative, 4 out of every 10 newly acquired customers are women, and it gets better by the day. We're providing these women access to finance, knowledge, markets, quality service, and key opportunities to help grow their wealth. As the first bank in the industry to build a community for women and have solutions that focuses on the needs of women, we cater for all their financial and aspirational needs across 3 key segments. We're excited that we took the lead. Because we took that first step, there have been even more attention and focus given to women by other financial institutions.
Empowering women is a shared value in Access Bank. That is why in 2016 we set up the Access Women Network. AWN is a network of women staff within Access Bank that provides women with learning and development tools and techniques.
What the pitch competition also did for us, and I was telling my team, I've never actually had to pitch our business to anyone. So this actually gave us an opportunity to sit back, really look at our full business and plan it from now to the interim and even into the future. So one of the important things that the pitch allowed us to do was to really think, how can we power our business with technology? As accountants, there will always be a need for people to be in it. But this experience allowed us to think, what other technologies are there out there, or what other ones can we actually initiate to be able to promote and grow our business to a point where it is not so people heavy, but we can also use technology to serve as a catalyst to allow us to serve more people.
Aside empowering women to achieve their entrepreneurial goals, Access Bank also embarks on CSR activities that leave smiles on their faces. Tens of thousands of women have benefited from Access Bank's W initiative, and this will continue in coming years. We are on a journey to inspire, connect, and empower women.
So again, you can watch the full documentary on the Access Bank YouTube page just to learn more about the 7-year journey of Access W. Now, I did mention that the Pan-African Women's Conference is powered by Access W in partnership with ScaleUp Africa, and we'll hear from them shortly. But we also want to remind you here, and those of you joining us virtually, that aside the conference and our panel discussions, we'll also have a portion of this evening's program where we recognize loyal patrons of Access W, women who have supported the brand throughout its 7-year-long existence, women who have supported the brand to grow, which means, in turn, the brand could help other women. So stay tuned for that, all right? You want to see out 30 women who are going to be acknowledged by Access W this evening. It's a wonderful thing. Yes, a round of applause. And we'll find out who those women are when we get to that portion of the program. But now I would like to invite Ama Jampo to join us up here. She's the CEO of ScaleUp Africa. Welcome, Ama.
Good evening, everyone. It's good to see everyone here. This time last year, we were online and just recovering from a year at home with our kids, homeschooling, going a little bit crazy. But here we are today looking fabulous, and it's so good to see all of you here. I wanted to thank Access Bank especially for your support. This is the second edition of the Pan-African Women's Conference. We believe very much at ScaleUp Africa in setting up our own tables. If we don't have a seat at the table, we create our own tables, just as W has. And so, again, thank you so much to Olumide, Josephine, Matilda, and the team for the continued partnership. So I wanted to share a few things about the power of women. We keep talking about women's empowerment. And there are some statistics flowing around that demonstrate that if we had women's equality in the labor force, we would add $28 trillion to the global economy. $28 trillion to the global economy. That's power. We're already empowered, but we need to take our own biases and shape the current conversation. There are many women who are sitting on boards and in positions of leadership at the moment, and they are told to keep quiet. The women are not to be seen, not heard, to go to the back of the room. This still happens today in our society. So I think it's really up to us to try and deal with some of these issues and call them out when they happen to us in these situations. We need to also bank on women. Only 2% of women are funded in terms of venture capital and access to loans. We need to work on having more women in investment committees and making decisions around who gets to get the funding, and set new KPIs around how we assess credibility for loans and credit. Lastly, we need to be active advocates. Everywhere we go, we need to be active in our advocacy, whether it's in politics, in the boardroom, at home, in our society, in our families. We need to continue having these conversations to make sure that decisions are being made that can benefit the wider society. And everybody matters. Women matter equally to men. I know we go to quite a few of these forums, and the men are like, oh, well, what about us? It's not really about male bashing. It's really about working together to make sure that everybody has a chance, an opportunity equally. So thank you again for joining us, and please enjoy the evening's celebration.
We can keep the applause going. Thank you, Ama. Again, Ama Jampo is CEO of ScaleUp Africa, and they are partnering Access W to bring us the Pan-African Women's Conference. Now, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of the Bank of Ghana Ladies Association, led by its president, Ivy Ajima. They are in attendance. Thank you for joining us for the Pan-African Women's Conference. We appreciate your presence here this evening. And now it is time to introduce our keynote speaker. And if I said I was going to highlight all of her accomplishments, we'd probably be here all evening because she's accomplished quite a lot, and that's an understatement. I'll do my best to keep it brief. Ibokun Awosika is chairperson and CEO of the Chair Center Group. She's a motivational speaker. She's an author, a media personality, an actress even. In fact, she's a multifaceted powerhouse. And if we're talking about somebody who embodies African excellence, ladies and gentlemen, it is her. It is with great pleasure that I introduce to you our keynote speaker for the 2022 Pan-African Women's Conference, Ibokun Awosika.
And a good evening to everyone. Can you just confirm you can hear me clearly?
Can. Yes, we can.
Okay, all right. Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here, and I know I'm far away in Lagos. Very close, but can be very far, if you know what I mean. But I am here, and it's definitely my pleasure to join Access Bank and the W projects. I knew when it started, and I'm proud of any platform that seeks to create the right positioning and support for women to be able to find their own space. And to Olumide, I do remember you very well. You haven't changed that much. A little better fed by your wife, so I can see your cheeks are filled out a little, but you're still yourself, very clearly mischievous in some ways and full of laughter. So it's nice to see you and see you again, and I'm proud of how your career has moved and what you've done with yourself. So God bless you, and thank you for having me at this conference. Now, my assignment is simple, and I'm only going to speak for a short while, but I'm going to leave you with some questions, and I'll also try to make some points that I hope will get you thinking. I like to get people to answer the questions themselves. I know that the bank sent me a very long, windy topic. I always deconstruct people's topics and make mine out of it. So your topic says self-promotion in the workplace, overcoming biases, and building resilience to climb the high corporate ladder. It's quite long, but you know, I've deconstructed it in my own way in order to establish the things I'd like you to take away from it. And the first thing is it self-promotion or visibility of excellence? Because can be considered, can be positive, but can also be negative. So it's really about, what do you want to promote, or how do you want to be seen? What about you do you want people to see in terms of your work? I think first we have to think in terms of, a lot of women are smart, they're capable, they're competent, but we're working within a context that doesn't necessarily facilitate the maximization of the talents that women bring to the table. But we've been at this for a while, and part of what we need to do as women is to break our own biases, is to reset our minds to think about what we can do and not about what we've been told we cannot do. Because I realize that the mindset of us as women in itself is playing against our ability to fully express and maximize ourselves. We go with less expectation. We go with a negative expectation of people working against us, or people not creating the right environment for us to perform. We need to be a lot more strategic and a lot more confident of the value that we bring to the table. We need to be a lot more assured of our own giftings and our talent. And that comes from preparation. First, you must know that your hands are prepared, that your knowledge assured, and that you continue to enhance yourself consistently so that in no way do you have a chance to doubt yourself. Two, you need to have around you a circle or a tribe of people who are believers. And when I say believers, I mean believers in who you are, believers in your skills and in your talent, whether male or female, believers in your capacity to take on whatever opportunity that you find yourself, that you find available to you. Those who are able to push you across the edge, even when you have your self-doubts. You have those who will remind you of the things that are great about you. You need to have your brag sheet. And what is your brag sheet? Your brag sheet is your sheet that contains your accomplishments, no matter how small, from the tiniest thing that you did and you did well, to the biggest things that you did. So in the moments when you're not sure, you can be reinforced and reminded. And that gives you the courage to step out. Because half the time, women give up opportunities that they're overqualified for. And women tell themselves they can't win where they have more than enough capacity to. And because we do not connect our network, we do not connect our powers. A lot of women sit in different positions of power, but our powers are disconnected. Until we learn to actually connect the powers, the individual silos power of women, so that we can create superpower that helps women to be better assured, to have a better support system that gives them greater confidence to step out, that they have greater confidence to know that when they look back, they got people that have got their back. Because you see, it's not about being the smartest for the job. It's about being the most assured and confident and courageous to take on the job. If you're already fully qualified for a job, it means that you're overqualified for that job because you haven't left any room for you to learn anything or for you to be challenged in it. And so it's not about self-promotion, it's about the display of your capacity, of your excellence, of your giftings, of your talents in the spaces where you find yourself. And because you're not ashamed to ask questions and to share what you know, it is impossible that people will not notice that you're able to deliver. And even when you're able to deliver, it's important to have the support system, those who will speak for you when it is necessary. So we as women need to break our own biases. We must be unafraid to step out and compete for opportunities. We must be unafraid to take on challenges. We must be unafraid to speak on behalf of another woman. If you know that somewhere they're looking for somebody for something, and there's a woman you know who is qualified for that thing, you should have the capacity to speak up for that person. It doesn't matter if there are 10 other men in the room and you're the only woman. If you're there and you know that woman is qualified for that position, then speak up for her, and you will make a lot of difference. And the more we become committed to the process of supporting one another and helping other women to find their space and find their opportunity, the stronger we will be as a network of women building greater opportunities for women to succeed. We need to overcome our biases. That is key. When I talk about visibility of your excellence, it means that you must be excellent. You must be prepared. You must have an honest conversation with yourself in terms of what are your gaps. Do a gaps analysis of who you are. And when you identify what your gaps, there's nothing wrong with having gaps. There's no perfect human being. What is wrong is not doing anything about your gaps. Invest in the process of closing your gaps. Invest in the process of empowering and equipping yourself. If you have a plan for a position in 5 years, be ready by 3. Find every voice and every person that can support you in filling the gap. Learn from anyone, young or old, male or female, who has the knowledge that you require in order to be able to do what you need. Now, we're talking about building resilience. What does that mean? It means not giving up. I've watched too many women run away. You can't compete and you're running at the sight of trouble. There will always be challenges in our lives. Everything will not work as we plan it. But at the end of the day, you must stand and fight through the situation. Being resilient is being able to stand the heat. And women are used to being in the kitchen, and in the kitchen is hot. But you don't run out from making your meals, even though it's hot in the kitchen. So when you're in the corporate kitchen and it gets hot, you stand. You tell yourself, what do I need to know to stand this heat? What am I missing to stand this heat? Find it. What kind of support system do I need to survive this heat? Find that support system. What do I not know that somebody else does? Respect it, but learn from it. In your resilience, there are times you would lose in men's terms in order to win on the long term. You must be focused and determined in terms of where you want to go. It's about the goal that you set for yourself and the plan that you put behind your goal. Sometimes the things you set to do don't work as you plan it, but so what? Life is full of fun. Life is an adventure. It's full of surprises. And when you get to the moment of the surprises, you reevaluate, you re-strategize, and you reorganize yourself. So being ready to survive for the long term, if you are going to compete for the long term, there's a general perception that women cannot stand the heat, that when things get hot, they run away. We need to break that. It doesn't come easy to occupy high offices. We have the capacity, we have the talent, we have the gift, but we must also build the strength of character to stand the heat. You cannot do it alone. It's why it's key that as a woman who is ambitious, who is driven, who is going somewhere, build the right tribe, build the right support. So the day it gets too hot for you, you have a whole support system that helps you to walk through the heat without running. You know, when I was chair of First Bank, I cannot remember how many times I had conversations with women who were upset at one thing or the other and wanted to resign. Every time you resign and you leave a position, you just gave it up to somebody else. And every time you look behind you, you find the gap between you and the next girl, and you realize just how much we need enough women to be in the right places, to form a critical mass that empowers and gives other girls the courage to continue to move forward. We're working from an advantaged position, but we are advantaged in our talents, in our giftings, and in our ability. And the talents that we have as women that men will wish that they have. So we have to understand what our strengths are, use them. But in using our strengths, identify our weaknesses as well, build them, close up the gap that our weaknesses present, and put ourselves in a place where we can compete. In order to be sustainable, we must make ourselves indispensable. How do you make yourself indispensable? Be a performer. Every expectation that you know is against you, work against it. Deliver a value that will not be ignored. Every kind